Hello, my name is Matt. I'm going to go through a quick demo of some of the main features of Charm EHR. So the first thing I want to start with is the web embed calendar. If you'd like, you don't have to do this, but you can post your online calendar onto your website, and then that will allow your patients to request and or book appointments with you. So what you can do is we'll generate a code snippet to put on your website, and you can generate that under the settings of Charm. Once you post that to your website, it'll look something kind of like this. It'll show all your available providers that you set, and you can configure which providers you want shown on here. The patient will select which provider they want to book with. Once the patient selects provider from your website, the patient will select the visit type that they want to come in for. Based on visit type, in this example, it's 40 minutes. So it's going to show 40-minute time blocks that are available with you. And your patient can click the date and time that works for them to request that appointment. The patient can be new or existing when they're booking here. So if they're a new patient, they'll just do, "Are you patient?" No. And they can fill out some details to move forward. Once the patient has filled in their information, they'll click next. So the main things are first name, last name, date of birth, gender, email, phone, and these things will get moved over to Charm. So they'll fill these out and click next. On this next page, you can have patients fill out additional information, and you can customize what these questions are in here. If you need to ask the patient anything specific, so you know what type of things the patient wants to come in for. So main will be reason for visit, and then you can customize additional ones in here under settings for any additional information you want to collect on them. So they'll type out these things. Once the patient gets confirmed at the bottom, the request will go in. Also on that same page, you're able to have a patient pay for their visit. You can collect their credit card information from your website here, and you can either set it up to have the patient pay a specific rate, example like $25 for each appointment type, or you can have patient pay for a specific visit type. So you can have like $100 for one type, $200 for a different, etc. Or you can charge the patient nothing, $0, but collect the patient's credit card so that can get stored on file. So there's a couple ways you can either collect payment or credit card information to get that on file so you can charge them later, and or pre-charge them for visits when they're booking from calendar. So once the appointment requests have been posted on your website, those will come over to your calendar. You go to calendar and appointment requests. So I have mine set up so that when the appointment requests come in from the online calendar, that I have to approve them. So you can see things that come in. And also from this page, you can see the pre-screening forms that they filled out on their website. So you can see whatever responses that they had for the questions. You can see their responses if they filled anything out. And when you want to confirm them, you can click confirm, and the patient will be added to your calendar. You can also deny them if they're not a good fit, and you can type out the reason why you can't see them. So you can either have these appointment requests come in here, or you can set it up to auto approve the patient's appointment requests if the time slot's open. So there's a couple ways you can configure the appointment requests. Also, addition to our web embed calendar, you can also book patients directly into Charm. So you can have your front office go to the Charm calendar, day, week, or month views, and click down on date and time and add your patient. They can select the visit types. All of these visit types are customizable. If you need to, you can book patients in specific rooms. And then later on, you can check which rooms are booked. And also in this example, you can have specific intake forms go out to your patients before they come in, so they can fill out intake forms on the patient portals, and patients can fill out the intake forms and their responses will come back to Charm. And in this case, I have new patient visit type, have these specific forms go out to patients automatically. So you can configure, if you have the same intake forms go out for the same visit types, there's a way to set that up so that that part gets automated. I'll show the patient portal in a little bit, but this is how you can book patient. And if the patient doesn't have a patient portal, as long as that patient has an email filled out, they'll automatically get an email that tells them that they have an appointment coming up with you and that they have intake forms that they need to fill out before they come in. So if you check these things off and confirm, those email reminders will automatically go out to your patient. So once everybody's been booked in the system, you can see everybody from the calendar list view. This will show you all your today's appointments. And this is where you would be able to start your appointment. I just want to show real quick the patient portal. So that you can see what this looks like. So let me log out. When a patient logs into the portal, it'll look something like this. So these are the main items that they'll have on their dashboard. In regards to appointment, if you send them intake forms, they'll get an email with a link to create a patient portal account, and then they'll be able to log in and come to their appointments and see which appointments that you book with them. There's other things you can do is they can fill out their intake forms. So from here, they can go through the different intake forms that you send them, and they can fill out their demographics or any other questions that you need to ask them. All of the intake forms are customizable. A couple other things, they can view their invoices with you. They can pay invoices if you have a Bluefin account, which is the merchant services company that we're integrated with. They can look at their lab results that come back. You can share the lab results to patients. I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. Image results, you can post these over here as well. The patients can message you and vice versa. Patients can share documents with you and vice versa. Your handouts will come to this section. If you share any handouts with the patients, they'll be in this document section. And then other couple main things are their medications can come here, so they can see all active meds and active supplements if you recommend any supplements to them. Those are the main kind of things in the patient portal. So back to EHR. So back to EHR, back to calendar. So to start one area that you can start your visits are from the calendar list view. Again, this will show you all your today's appointments. You can have your front office change the status if the patient's arrived or checked in or no show. And then everyone can see where the patient is on their status. When you're ready to start, you can click Start Encounter. There's a couple of different types of chart types. I'd say the main two are comprehensive and SOAP. Depending on your chart style, comprehensive is good if you don't have any templates built out and you have just manually written out notes. You can manually write out your notes in each text box of each SOAP section. And then SOAP is good if you know which sections of the SOAP encounter you want to use, and you can build out templates to use for this option. So I'll show both so you can see the difference. SOAP, we'll start with that one. So we'll create, and this will open up the chart note. So on the left side, we can see This will be any intake forms that were filled out by the patient. You can see all the responses. So whatever patient filled out, you'll see all responses in here. And depending on what you added in, you can have patients fill out some of the sections of the chart note, such as past medical history, and some other options, and you can reconcile those fields into your current chart note. We have another video that goes over those things. But this is where you can see whatever the patient filled out on questionnaires. So you can see those. Your main section is going to be under this chart notes. So you can think of this as your base layer of your chart note, and this is in the SOAP encounter. So you'll always have your vitals. These vitals you can customize, so you can use our default ones in here, or you can add in custom ones, or you can take these out if you don't need them. Those are all customizable under settings. And you can plot things over time. Look at growth chart for more of your pediatric patients, and you can look at past data, and this will just show a table of the different vitals and where the patient's going over time. So you always have vitals, and then you'll always have DX codes through your referrals. And this will be kind of the base layer of your chart note. And at the top is where you'll add your templates. So you'll need to build out or get from the library, the Charm library of templates, templates that you want to use for this. So when you're ready to pick one, you can type in the template name you want to use, and you'll add that template to the base layer. So and you can add multiple templates if your patients are coming in for multiple scenarios. Well, you'll add the template to the top. Once it gets added, that will then kind of fill into the base layer, and you can check through different items that apply, and anything you check will get added to that patient's chart. And for each section, you'll just build out the items that you want to include on it. So in this example, for the physical exam section, we have all, neck, neuro, and all these other items. For diagnosis codes, for most of these templates, they're either you can instant add items, or you can choose from templates, which in these scenarios are more like favorites lists. So for diagnosis codes, you can instant add, and this will search the whole ICD-10 database. So if you type in a name, all of those codes will come down, and you can add the item from here, and this will add the diagnosis code to the chart. These DX codes will go over to the billing section if you need to print up a super bill or generate a claim. This is where you'll add the DX code. So instant add here, or you can choose from templates. If you click templates, you can make different DX codes for different types of scenarios. And this would be kind of like your favorites list that you can use, and you can check off the DX codes you want to use, and then those will get added to your chart. Also, if the patient's coming in for the same problems list of DX codes, you can look at past DX, and then you can just repeat all, and then all those codes will get added to your current chart. And also, speaking of this, there's also for your chart notes, if you need to add all your past charts to your current chart, if you click repeat, it's going to move all the current charts into this chart here. And also on this left side here, this will show you your past chart notes. So you can look at different days if you want to go through for all the different encounters the patient came in for, to look at the different charts. If you go to days, it'll just show you whatever you typed into the previous charts here. Back to current chart. So DX codes. Again, all these will be instant add or choose from templates. So prescriptions, you can instant add, and this, if you type in a name, it's going to show all the medications that match that name, and you can prescribe and that'll get added to the chart. If you need to, a faster way to do it is just to build out templates. So these will be favorites lists that you can build out. So commonly prescribed medications. So you can check off the medication you want to prescribe, and that will get added to your chart. And you can predefine the different dosage information. And then when you add, that prescription will get added to your chart. And if you get e-prescribe set up, you can electronically transmit the prescription to the local pharmacy. So I don't have it set up, but if you get e-prescribe set up, there'll be a little ERX button right here to electronically send out the prescriptions. Supplements are pretty much the same as prescriptions, so you can instant add or choose from templates and come up with your favorites list of commonly used supplements, check them off, add them to the chart. And all these things by default will go to the patient's portal. So prescriptions, supplements, vaccines, labs, images. So all these things will go to patient's portal, and it's kind of like the plan that's automatically getting set up for them. For vaccines, you can build out different vaccine charts. This is more for pediatric clinics. Just example, we have a 0 to 6 vaccine chart. So it's based on the patient's date of birth. So whatever the date of birth is, it'll then tell you if that patient is due for the different vaccines in your chart that you've made. So you can either do it from the chart, or you can just instant add or choose from templates to get your vaccines added. Let me see an example. So if you add a vaccine, let me find that. You add a vaccine, you can also keep track of stock quantity. So it'll tell you how many vaccines you have on file, and you can check off the lot you need to use and the number in the series. You fill out some of these fields, and then you can add to the chart to administer. Also, you can set it up to auto-populate the correlating procedure code based off the vaccine. And then that'll just automatically come over to procedure code section. Other vaccines, injections, they're kind of similar. You can either instant add or choose from templates and check off the IV or injection you need to administer, fill out your dosage info, and add to your chart. For labs, kind of same thing. You can either instant add or choose from templates. For these, you can make different templates for different lab companies you work with. So in this example, I have different LabCorp tests that I commonly order, and you can check off the tests you need to order. This will create a lab order in the system. So to show this real quick, all your labs will queue up in the lab order section. We'll go over here. So labs, lab orders, anything you order will come here. Ideally, you can try to get integrated with the different labs that you work with. And that means that both the orders will go out to the lab companies. And then when results come back, they'll automatically get posted back to the order in Charm. And then you can review and sign off on your lab results. If you don't have the integration set up, you can electronically fax out your orders and electronically fax receive results. And then if you don't want to do that, you can just print up or share to the patient the orders, and then manually upload your results to the orders. So there's a couple ways you can do it. Getting integrated is the fastest and easiest way to do it. So post your orders here. When results come back, they'll be posted here, and you can review on results. It'll show all the tests in the panel. the results. And as a provider, you can make your interpretations and sign off on the lab. And you can share the labs to the patient's portal, or you can text it to them. And you can send a message in regards to the lab as well. And those will get sent out to patients so they can have their lab results. So those are the labs. You can initiate the orders either from this lab order section, or you can do it from within the chart note under the lab section here. So those are labs. Images, they're set up the same as labs. So you can post your image orders. You can customize which image orders you need. So you'll set up the image order. This will create an image order in the system. And then once the order is made, it'll go over to a similar image queue. So it'll be images, image orders. So all your orders will come over here. So you can e-fax these out, or you can print them or share it to patient. And then when results come back, you can post them here and then make your interpretations and share the results to the patient's portal. So those are images and labs. If there's any specific instructions you want to give your patients, you can have items, just checkbox items like this, or you can set up a manually written out instructions. And then you can also have handouts go to your patients. You click add handouts. You can upload handouts to Charm, and then you can check off the handouts that you want your patients to receive, and those will go to the patient's portal. So those are kind of the main things that you'd fill out in your chart note. When you're finished with your chart notes, you can add procedure codes. So we see the vaccine CPT code came over, and then you can add any other codes in here. If you're a cash practice or insurance practice, both scenarios, you'll add all your procedure codes under settings, billing, and procedure codes. So once all your codes are in this section, that will create the list of procedure codes that you can assign to charts over here. So once these are filled out, you can save or sign your chart to check out your patient. When you're ready to check out patient, you can go to the billing section. So billing, generate bills. There's a way to automate these things. So if you sign a chart, it'll automatically create an invoice. And then for insurance practices, you can have an insurance claim auto create based off invoice. So if there's a way to automate these things, but to do it manually, you'll come here and you'll see all the charts that you signed off or saved, and you can click new invoice. And then all your procedure codes will come from chart over here. And then you can see DX codes, whatever was added in the chart will be over here. These will all go to the claim section if you have insurance patients, or the super bill. As long as the patient's insurance info is filled out, this is automatically going to get posted over here. And then if you sell products out of your office, you can add your supplements or any other products to this section, and it'll keep track of your stock quantity if you need to do that. And then at the bottom, you can, depending on if it's insurance or cash, you can post KO pay, or you can pay invoice in full. So depending on scenario, you can select the correct payment option. And if you have a Bluefin account, which is the merchant services company we're integrated with, you can process credit card transactions and post the payments to invoices in Charm. So we have different credit card features as well if you need those. So once your invoice has been created, if you need to print up a super bill only, you can go to the invoice and click print, and that will bring up your super bill. So you'll have your practice logo, your practice name, practice tax ID, and then you'll have your patient info, insurance info, and then provider name, NPI, DX codes, and CPT codes. And once you can print this up and give it to patient, or you can share this to the patient's portal if they need to submit this to try to get reimbursed. So that can be helpful. And then if you need to generate claim, you can, this, in my case, I've already generated the claim. So this invoice already has a claim over here. And if you have a biller, you can give them access to your Charm account, and they can electronically submit all your claims to a clearinghouse, opt them or change. And then when the ERAs come back, they'll get automatically posted to your Charm account. So let us know if your biller is interested in that. We can give them a training on how to use those features. Just a couple other things for billing reports. There's a lot of reports in here that you can run. One example is invoices list. So you can look at a date range of invoices. You can look at paid or partially paid, just set your criteria, and then it'll show all of those associated invoices, and you can export these into a spreadsheet format if you need. So a lot of different reports in here you can run. Then just a couple other things. We have a messages section. This is where you can send messages to and from patients. So you can compose and either send to other facility members on Charm or to specific patients. You can attach documents. It's just kind of email style format. So you can type out your message and send, and it's all encrypted. So it's a secure way to communicate with your patients. We have a task section. You can post tasks either for yourself or for someone else. So you can set the owner, and then you can make the task patient specific and assign it to a patient. And then you can assign due dates on your tasks. And then once your tasks have been posted, you can see all the tasks that you've made and which ones are pending and completed. So there's this can help you keep track of different things that you need to accomplish for the practice. And then a couple other things, if you need referrals, we have a whole referral section, so you can add your referral reports. You can attach chart notes or patient documents, labs to your report, and you can electronically fax out your referral reports to different referring providers. And you can set up your contacts list of referring providers, things that you need to fax out to different practices. And then if you have, if you need to set up a in-house supplement pharmacy, or if you're just selling other products to your patients, this is where you can upload all your products. And then when you're in the invoice section, you can add your products to your invoice to get checked out at, but this is where you would initially upload them and create your master list of products. So you can do this for supplements or vaccines or any other products that you're selling. So those were kind of the main features of Charm. Hopefully this explains kind of some of the features we have. Thank you for watching. Take care.